I want to introduce for you the way of hope. People have heard me talk about it, but they're not always clear about what that means and what's involved. So let's start here. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that we're standing right here because I love this graphic. This is a graphic of a tree of life that bears its fruit in season. Its roots go down. It is a great biblical image. It's also a wonderful image for a life that is connected, that is fruitful, that is flourishing. And that's what this is about. Over the years, I have noticed that there are people who flourish, whose faith goes deeper, and their life becomes more and more fruitful, even as I'm aware of people who have hung around in churches for years and decades and don't seem to have much change. And as a pastor, it has made me wonder, so what's the difference? And I have boiled it down to a couple things. One, there are some core strengths, and I've said there are 5 core strengths. That's memorable for me and easy to remember, and I think sufficient. And then there's a set of practices, and I'm calling them 5 essential practices. I think if you had those, your life will change. This is what I've noticed. And what are the core strengths? So the first one has to do with the peace of Christ. Once you have peace with Christ, that sense of that I belong body and soul to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, that Jesus is my Savior, that I can entrust my life to Christ. Boy, something changes in our life. It doesn't matter what storms we go through. Suddenly we know it is well. It is well with my soul, as the old hymn says, because I know I am grounded, I am loved, I am the beloved of God. That is what peace of Christ is about. The second great strength has to do with the purpose of my life. There's a lot of hows and situations in my life. To the degree that I have the why of my life, the why am I here, I am much better able to live and to flourish no matter what the circumstances. There is the place where I get to live my life. There's the here, the now, the time, the place. It is the needs of my community, and how does that intersect with the gifts that I have been given? As I have a better sense of this place, and a place that I can name and say, this is where I belong, that is a huge strength. It is a huge strength to have a group of people who are committed to you and to your growth. And so the fourth P has to do with people. We have peace, we have purpose, we have place, we have people. And the fifth one has to do with a process. The call to be a disciple is a process. It is a set of habits, of practices. It is a way of organizing my life and all those other things in such a way that they become integrated into me. And if once you have those, I have come to believe that to the degree that people have those 5 strengths and are developing them, their life is flourishing. They are growing. They have a sense of confidence. They are comfortable in their own skin. They live in a sense of trust and faith. To do that, there are some practices that go into that. And again, I've organized them in 5 areas, and there's nothing magical about it, but I've kind of organized them in the cadence of the repetition. So for instance, there's a whole set of practices that I call daily grace, daily devotion. I have my own set that I call daily grace. And by the way, all of those things are listed here in other resources, but this is just an overview. Besides daily grace, there is weekly nurture. What are the things that you do on a weekly basis that nurture and grow your soul? There is service, and I've grouped that on a monthly basis. You may not do it every day, every week, but on a monthly basis, how and where are you giving your life away for the sake of others? We tend to think of giving on the annual basis, and so I've said annual giving, daily grace, weekly nurture, monthly service, annual giving. And the last one is sort of holds it all together. It is regular review. It's a way of taking a look in, whether it's examine or whether it is reflection. It is how do we step back and look at, in the presence of a loving God, of what's going on and what that all means. Here's what I believe. I believe that if you had those 5 essential habits and they were growing and developing and practices and they were nurturing those 5 core strengths, your life would change. I believe that we as a church, as we help people do that, then this becomes a place of flourishing, and this becomes a place where life changes for people. And we not only recognize the blessing of our own life, but how we might be a blessing to others. That's what the Way of Hope is all about. And I look forward to sharing it with you. Listen, if there's some things that have been helpful, give this a thumbs up. If you've got some comments, I would love to hear them. If you've got some questions about which areas you'd like me to explore next, I'd love to hear those as well. And in all of that, my hope is that together we walk this way of hope, and then we develop lives that are grounded into love, the love of God, that we are growing into grace, and that our lives are ever more fruitful and fulfilling. You have a great day.